Hi, this is Zuba here. This is the Poison Helix Trickster, and I'm doing a brief update on what it's currently looking like and what I plan to do with it. So, right now I've hit level 98. I'm not sure if I want to push to 99, but I can actually push to 99 pretty comfortably. I think I didn't die once for the past 4 or 5 levels. With the exception of when I was bossing when at 0 XP, so it doesn't really matter. But for the content I'm doing, this is pretty much unkillable. So right now, the content I'm doing for this character is quite straightforward. I'm targeting grotto maps, so it's all grotto. And then Arid Lake and Armory, I cycle with them as well. Actually, let me just go back to throttle. So I'm getting a lot of grotto maps. I have Arid Lake and I have Armory maps. All 3 maps are really good. Grotto is a very good layout. It's circular with high density. Arid Lake is a bit more open but has pretty decent density. And Armory is a straight line map with a bit of deviation here and there, but it also has pretty high density. So all 3 maps are really good for this particular build because of Asanas explosions and poisoning of explosive explosions. Yeah. So what has changed with the build? I've done a bit of repathing and respec. I've moved away from these. A bit unfortunate, but I don't think I need them anymore. I've gone into these 2, and I've gotten the evasion mastery on here. 1, I don't really get a lot of res from 3, and 2, maximum core res is nice, the evasion is nice. So I pathed here for the reason that I'm getting melding out of this. I've removed melding from the anoint, so I now have corruption, which gives me 35% increase with it. And then it also gives me access to this particular socket. As you know, sockets are hard to find for this particular build, mainly because you have too many unique jewels. So that yeah. Anyway, I got a pretty nice socket for this one. It's got attack speed, length of life, poison duration, and increased damage from poison. And yeah, so I path this for life and socket. The same. You still have the same pathing for tree, which is the same. These ones. Not much has changed with this regard. It's still the same thing. So yeah, and not much here has changed as well. I've gone one single chance to suppress node, mainly because I'm not capped if I don't have an elevor. So right now I've gotten suppression on boots, so this is 14, and suppression on helm, which is also 14. And that frees me up to actually start using a Covenant. So I did say at the league start I wasn't planning to use Covenant for chess because it does take away a lot of defenses, and that's still true. In fact, dropping away my rare chest and going for Covenant has decreased my evasion by almost half because I don't have Grace effect, and I also don't have the high amount of evasion on the chest itself. But because this particular Covenant is really good, it is a double corrupted Covenant with 6% maximum life increase and a 1% to all maximum resistances. It somewhat makes up for the drop in defenses, but it makes it up in terms of life and somewhat ES, but not in evasion. So right now my evasion is not too nice. My evasion is at 20,000. It used to be at 40, 50, I think, base. With Flask up, it's just 37, which is pitiful, right? It's just not good. Because Flask uptime is not necessarily there. So what has changed as well is I have gone for these gloves. So this is plus 1 socketed gems and plus 2 socketed AoE. And the reason why I've gone these is because I get Playboy up to 28. I get Withering Step up to 28, which is pretty massive, right? Withering Step 28 means you get 10 Wither debuffs for the anonymous version. Every time first time each enemy enters the area, so that's 5 Withered debuffs right off the bat, just from this one Withering Step. The AoE for this is also pretty massive because of plus 9 to radius, and also because I have an increased arrow effect support here. Increased area effect support gets the +3 from the gloves, because +1 all and +2 socketed. So this is actually level 23. And anomalous increased area effect gives even more area. So 62% increased effect just from this. It affects the Plague Bearer. It affects the Withering Step. The reason why it's level 28 also for these two gems is not only because you have AoE and socketed, but also because I have an Empower support 4 and Power 4. All these are extremely expensive, obviously. If you were to look at my day 1, where my build is less than 30k chaos, whatever's here right now is 50, 60. It's probably 50 or 60 not exalts, divines. And some of the pieces I've gotten on these are actually quite cheap. I would say they're relatively cheap compared to what you would pay for them, because I spot stuff early and no one's competing with me for them, so I can snipe things at a pretty cheap price. But you will not be able to replicate this in this cheap a manner. Yep. So that's the Plague Bearer setup. If you want to see the size of the Withering Step, I can show you right now. See this green ring around me? This giant massive green ring that's almost the size of my screen. Oh, it's not really the size of my screen. Close to the size of my screen. Is my Withering Step. See this thing? That's how big the Withering Step is. And if you look at the Plague Bearer, the Plague Bearer is somewhat like this as well. It's bigger. It's really big. Okay, why have I gone a Covenant? So Covenant is just for Spectral Helix damage. It doesn't actually do anything for the explosions from Asanas. So this is solely for Blossom. I actually didn't need it, because if I had gone a rare chest, my mapping is going to be exactly the same. My single target is a bit lower, but who cares? So the Covenant only gives me 50 to 60% more damage on my single target, right? For map clear, it doesn't really do anything. So for single target map clear, single target damage, right now I am probably looking at about close to 16 million. If both my Spectral Helixes hit. If I have a Spectral Helix +1 on this, and 3 of them hit, it is going to be 24. So it's only 24 million DPS on poison. If you want to compare it to previously, where I was using the other chest, 60% less damage. It was 15 mil if 3 hits, 10 mil if 2 hits. It's considerably lower, but at the same time, this is a less tanky setup. So yeah. What else? I've gone a Stygian Vice instead of a heavy belt, mainly because I've gotten a strength on this, and that gives me a ability to get a jewel socket. With a jewel socket, I have 50 resistances, which you're starved for anyway because you're going a Covenant. And most of the other uniques don't have resistances. Your ring doesn't have resistances. Yeah. So I've gone a Hypnotic Eye Jewel with about 52% resistance. I crafted this myself, by the way. I bought the Fractured Life mod and just rolled it myself. Yeah. A belt that just resists life, energy shield, boots, evasion, no, not evasion, sorry, suppression, life, resistances, movement speed. And that's all there is to it. It's not that much. We'll do maybe Delve, because I'm probably full in Sulfite. I might consider just not leveling anymore and just doing bosses and just doing challenges. But for now, I might just, if I feel like it, just push to 99 anyway. I might even swap back for the rare chest to do my 99 actually, just because I don't need the damage. Just need to be more survivable, to be more tanky. Don't die while getting used. You can see that's the size of my Plague Bearer. This is that 260. probably path this way. 1, 2, 3. You're wondering why I have a reading jar? It's just so I can kill the worms with my skills and then prop adrenaline on bosses when my adrenaline drops off. So this is the Covenant I was trying out when, before I bought this one. That's it. Probably just checking that to 6 link. So with about, and once I'm probably gonna do a bit of lab, get my enchantments or get my anoints, not really enchantments, get my enchantments on, is it called enchantment? I'm trying to remember. I get my enchantments on my gear, my boots, my gloves, and my helmet unenchanted right now. so I'll probably do the lab to get all these running. I actually gave one helmet to a lab runner, and he's gone AFK for. I mean, he's not logged on for almost a day. So I don't know what happened to my helm. So I actually crafted a new one, and that's the one I'm using right now. I'll probably sell the one he has on him once he gets online.
Low on mana.
Oh. Awesome. That's a ring. I've been selling things in regrets because if you sell regrets in bulk, they go one-on-one in chaos. So yeah, you see this? I would sell for 5 regrets, and then I stockpile like maybe 400, 500 regrets, and there'll be people doing respecs. Right? They're just way too lazy to go and buy them from people with only like 20 or 30 of them. So I have like 500, 600 regrets. I sell them 100 at a time, or like 1 chaos each. So it'll be like 500, 600 chaos total. It's actually pretty good business. Something I've been doing like for the past 3 or 4 leagues, especially in leagues where regrets don't drop as easily. But yeah, if you see that, it's also another way I make money. So on my swap here, I have a bow with all white sockets. Very easy to get nowadays, not in the current league. Although you can get like for 6 greens. Buying 6 whites isn't that expensive. It's like 10 kills or something. And then you buy a Maloney's mechanism. That gives you another 3 more sockets. So what I do is I usually level like one of those gems you can buy off the shop, like just the vendors. So I buy Hatred because the 21 sell for like 55. And the 20s just sell for 5 regrets. So what I do is I would just corrupt all of them once I hit max, which is at least once a day, I think. Like every day I play at least once, you get it to 21, or just maybe 1.5 days you get it to 21, and then you just corrupt all, and then you sell the 21s at 55, and the rest you just sell at 5 regrets. And you make bank, make decent bank just off the EXP of your offense. Obviously you can do Enlightened Gems, but I'm just way too lazy, and I honestly don't want to double corrupt things. I don't like the gamble. I just like guarantee profit without gambling. Anyway, so that's all there is to it. The build is, I think, reached its endpoint. I don't think there's any way to improve this further. If there is a way to improve this further, it's likely some form of night grip mechanism or some night grip shenanigans. But I'm not gonna do that. So this will all be all there is to it for the build, I think. I think I'm maxed out every slot. So yeah, same thing. I'm using the tech for Fizz to Elemental. So I have like 15% Fizz to Elemental on Helm. I have 8% Fizz to Elemental, 8% Fizz to Chaos. So I reduce like 31% of all physical is taken as Elemental, which helps because I don't have any armor whatsoever and any physical damage reduction. Yeah. So Relaying Jar is nice just because it helps me to proc Adrenaline. So I'll show you how it looks like. You can also proc with Plague Barrier, so you get 3 seconds of Adrenaline out. This is nice.
Just need a moment to catch
And yeah, that's all there is to it. For boots, for boots, you want cooldown recovery for travel skills. The reason why you want cooldown recovery is you want cooldown recovery on this, the Wither Accept. So my Accept is at 2.44 instead of 3 seconds for cooldown time, just because of these. Action speed is obviously 5% more damage, which is ironic, right? So I'll show you something. This is 8%. This is 5%. Why would you want to go with this? Like, why? I mean, yes, self-curse temp chains is nice, but do you honestly need self-curse temp chains if you're not Blade Vortex or Winter Orb? I mean, a Winter Orb self-curse temp chains Trickster would be definitely a fun thing to play, right? But for builds, attack builds, why do you go this? Alright, Helm, temp chains effect or despair effect. For some reason, temp chains effect gives me more damage. I don't know why, but yeah. So temp chains effect and physical damage when hits for Helm. That's the only two rares, and these are the only two things that have implicit influences. Oh yeah, temp chains is nice just because your withered debuffs your, I think, Deliberate. So I have Deliberate debuffs here as well. So whenever I suppress a damage, I Deliberate enemies for 1 second. I think the increase in duration goes up because of temp chains. So I think probably like maybe 2-3 seconds. And yeah, maybe the 1 second fix. I don't know. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Hope you enjoyed this update. I'm gonna just close off. I'll probably be leveling this more. I'm not sure if I'll come up with another build. I don't think so. Probably won't have the time for it. Anyway, peace. Oh yeah, maybe I might do some bossing videos. Maybe do a bit of Ubers here and there. Alright, I'm out.